3,
Uh,
2, 1, and action.
They don't do that. They go 3, 2. So that you're not taking up the record. Anyway. Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Pettifoggers.
Action.
Oh, you're the worst. We're keeping this intro. I'm not doing it again. Welcome to another week of the Pettifoggers podcast. This week we were doing the brand new update from Call of Duty, The Haunting. I don't know what the actual name of it was, but it's just the Call of Duty Halloween update. And I have to say, we've tried it. We'll give you a review. And it's going to be Pierce to say what it was all about.
Great. Basically, it was an update for Warzone and for Call of Duty multiplayer, and it was called The Haunting, I think. And we spent a couple of hours on Wednesday playing on the bigger map. I can't remember what the big map's called. And then we jumped back in on Friday and played a couple of hours on the smaller Rebirth map that was called Von Dead.
Von Dead, yep.
Yeah, so basically it's the same premise. You're dropping in, there's however many teams, you're trying to beat all of the other teams by shooting them and killing them, coming out victorious, which my team did. If surely everyone knows Call of Duty by now, but if you don't, it's just an FPS gun game. It's a war game. And you get guns and you shoot people until they die. That explains it. No? Oh yeah, but the update was a Halloween sort of version of all of these maps. There were some bosses, some Halloween style bosses. Mm-hmm. The one that we personally came up against was the Pharaoh in the catacombs. And that was pretty fun actually. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that sort of sums it up. Lols, have I missed anything?
I think you've got the boxes that they got me a few times. That open the box, the jump scares from the boxes. That. Do you know what? The first night it didn't get me so much, but But you guys said that one of you said you had the alert to say that
I was Dunk, our special guest.
Yeah, thanks for thinking that we are Dunk.
I'm sorry.
You take a great interest in us.
You just see all Irish men as to see him, right?
I'm not even Irish. Barely a man.
Your own problem. I've lost my trail of thought.
Was there one to start with?
The day one, I didn't get the alert to say that there were going to be jump scares and whether I wanted to turn them on and off again or not. The second night I did, but the second night I definitely saw a lot of jump scares, and they definitely caught me off guard.
What did you think of the overall design of the game? And I know there's not going to be a lot of changes from the overall gameplay, but the look, the additions, what they added, what did you think of that, Lo?
I really liked the night mode in certain maps. I did not like the night mode in. I forget the name of the map. You know, the Rebirth, the Resurgence map.
Verdun, Verded, Von Dead.
No, the other one. The other one.
Just the normal.
That
one.
The
normal big map. Yeah.
No, the other one.
The other one.
You know the one.
How many are there?
You know the rotation where there's there's the farms that we go to, and it's the very.
There was two maps. There was the small Resurgence one or the big one.
Three
we got
maps.
Vondel or Al Mazrah.
3 maps.
We only played one when we were doing the Rebirth. It was the same map over and over again because we dropped the same place every single time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That was true. We always drop same place.
But anyway, when you're dropping in the other map that you guys obviously don't know about, you can't see the map when you're flying in. It's completely clouded over, and you don't know where you're dropping. It's I don't like that, but I liked it. It was different. It was different. Usually every Halloween it's the same thing over and over. It's just us fighting zombies, isn't it? But this time around, it feels different. It feels like they've put some effort into the design of it.
You know, they still have the zombie map. Just so people know, they do still have the zombie map, which they put in every year. But they've added to it. They've put something new, different, and like a complete map overhaul is nothing to laugh at. Like, it's a big deal to do a complete overhaul of any map. For Von Dead, like massive overhaul of the Resurgence map, as well as the big map. They added in a few new areas. Like, I don't think they didn't really overhaul the whole thing of the big Battle Royale map. They just done different areas. They added new bits into it, so the swamps. There was like a ship that we dropped into, if I remember right, and it was insane. Like, the weirdest thing is I enjoyed the fact that the water is like up the thing. You can see the sea floor, but you can swim up the sides of the water and all, which I don't know why I find that so like wild, but it was just class. There's also a change to the train, and you've all, as you said earlier, the different quests and PVE it matters for the quest lines. And again, there's 2 free skins you can get, and a load of other goodies you can get as well. So I have to say it's quite massive. What was it? 20 gig, 30 gig update?
I think it might have even been bigger than that.
Chunky.
But yes, I mean, on top of that as well, there was sort of, I want to call them like mini games or mini quests within these maps, where I think one of them was like a chess piece you had to go and get and put it back into the chessboard, and that gave you some loot. And then we sort of touched on the different bosses that were there. You have to beat them. The one that we went to, the Pharaoh, you had to kill all his little minions and get these skulls, and then put the skulls in the tomb, and then he rose up and killed us all.
Yeah.
So there were a few things like that, and like we died. But there was a few other sort of like rituals that you had to do that spawned in other like bosses and things as well. And you've got all this going on whilst other teams are trying to kill you as well. So yeah, like for me, I actually really enjoyed it. I'm not a fan of Warzone like 2, I guess. So I still didn't really like the movement and things like that. But putting that aside, I thought the update was actually like really good.
The fact that we managed to get you playing twice in 1 week.
Twice.
Says something.
I realised I played 37 games on Resurgence, the whole of Warzone 2, and then I think in this week I probably played like an extra sort of, I don't know, 10 or 15, which is unheard of for me. But yeah, like the update was actually really fun. I think it added a lot to it, and it's sort of going back to the Fortnite update that we were talking about last week or 2 weeks ago. It's sort of everything that we thought Fortnite should have done. They put a lot more effort into it. They had the zombie game mode as well, like you said, that was a bit copy and paste. They put that in, but then they also changed the maps and added so much more into these, like the regular maps that happen, and it actually felt like a proper update. Now there was an update to the multiplayer as well, so like your SND or whatever else, but we didn't jump into that, so we can't really talk to that as much. But I assume it's just 1 or 2 of the maps are at night, and there's some scary bits happening.
No, so as we've said, like there's loads of PvE and stuff, and there's loads of like there's just so much. It's massive. It's genuinely massive. The fact that you have all other options when it comes to the gameplay. I know you were saying about LoL that there's the night modes, and they're a bit annoying with the coverage. The one thing I'll say about the night modes is you have to have a night scope or a thermal, but they have added in a lot of like night vision loot for that purpose. They understand that you're going to need a night vision scope. The likes of me, I haven't got the multiplayer, and because I don't have the multiplayer, I find it very limiting, or I have found it very limiting in this version of Warzone 2, as Pearson said earlier. I find it very limiting for you because I don't level the guns. I can't level the guns, and I think like if you're trying to level the guns in Warzone, it's very tough. It's absolutely it's near impossible, I would say, because in some of the maps could take 20 minutes and you're dead by the end, or you don't see anyone, or you're dead within 5 seconds. You don't get your loadout guns. You're just running around with ground loot. But the ground loot in this is absolutely fantastic. Like the fact that they give you the night vision, the fact that they give you such good loot is so often. And I will say one thing, because I'll forget about it if I don't say. On the Von Dead map, it's completely changed. And it does have PvE, because we weren't sure about it. one of my teammates, Vic, she wasn't sure that there was any PvE in the Von Dead map. There is the quest lines for the Von Dead map, but it's only when you get to the, I think it's the third circle, and then they pop up, and it's wherever they are, they're completely random, but they won't show you on the map, so they're basically not having everyone go to one corner of the map, which I think is very good. It means everyone spreads out, because you can attest to this, how busy was the drops in the big map we were on El Mazra. Like, you had so many people dropping in for those, for obvious reasons. It's only just out. I think it came out on the 16th.
It came out on
16th?
the day we played it, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe the night before, but it was still very new. So yeah, everyone was just dropping at these hotspots.
So it's the same as everything, where it's just busy those early days.
Yeah, but I think we all agree that it was a really positive update, right?
Yeah.
Which is something that I don't think we've seen from Warzone for quite a while.
No.
Every update that comes out from it, something's broken. To be fair, there's still a broken shotgun that can just one tap you from like the distance of a sniper rifle that I got
completely reasonable.
Completely
reasonable, mate.
We were in sweaty lobbies when we were doing the rebirth one. We had the big boys on my team.
No. Let me just call out there. Says he's had sweaty lobbies. They were done terrible and dropped a 40 bomb on the last map. So how bad were they really doing?
I mean, we were doing very bad. There was one game we all dropped in and died without getting a kill. But yeah, so I was getting slapped by this fire shotgun that just one taps you, and I was a very angry boy. But I mean that, standard. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, which I wasn't expecting to say. I was expecting to go into it and hate it, to be honest.
Do you think this was like a last hurrah because they know that it's going to be changing up soon with the next Modern Warfare 3, and they're just? I'm not saying that they haven't done other things, but I think like they just went to another level on this update. It's drawn a lot of people in. I'm sure for playing it, I enjoyed it. But I just feel like maybe it's a last hurrah because they know that they'll be swapping the reins. It's going to go over to Modern Warfare 3, and then I know Warzone won't change over immediately, but
December,
obviously
right?
Warzone will change. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's the start or the middle of December that it changes to Warzone 3. I don't know if it's still the same developers that are working on Warzone 2 that are carrying over to Warzone 3 or not.
I'm not sure either.
I know with the multiplayer games they sort of swap it every iteration. I don't know how it works with Warzone, but yeah, either way, I genuinely think it was the best update that Warzone have ever dropped.
Yeah.
I can't think of one that was better.
The only one that I really enjoyed, like event-wise, for this one is probably where you blew up Verdansk.
I was thinking of that.
Yeah, I loved that, but
so that
I haven't had anything since then.
Was that the changeover of Warzone 1 to Warzone 2?
Yeah, I'm trying to think that as well.
Because you blew up Verdansk, right?
Was that the one where the zombies kept spawning in Verdansk? Lol.
No.
No.
So you were. Oh no, I think this was. It was still Verdansk, but you were on Rebirth, right? And you had to get the suitcase, and then it blew up Verdansk, and then Verdansk changed.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the crossover from 1 to 2. It was literally just an event in Warzone 1. To be fair, that was an amazing update. But it was an event. And they changed the whole of the Warzone map. That was cool. I don't know why they didn't do anything like that again. Maybe we'll get it for Warzone 2 to 3. But
you never know.
It was really cool, to be fair. I'll give you that.
I will say I haven't tried the Ghost event, so none of us, I don't think either of you tried the Ghost event this time around, the zombie, where you die, you become a zombie, you have to keep the people alive in your team.
I imagine it's very similar.
Yeah. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. You play away on it. It's available there for you to play.
It is worth a few games, to be fair. It's not a bad game mode. It's just we've seen it before. Very much like when we played Fortnite with the Horde or whatever it was called.
The Horde mode, Horde Rush.
Yeah.
But it's like there's the difference, right? So you have to compare the two because they pretty much not exactly the same game. They have very different styles of playing. However, they both are battle royales with a very similar style of what they're the audience they're trying to get. And I think you hit on it, Pierce. the Fortnite let the ball drop massively in comparison to Call of Duty. The map overhaul, the PvE aspects in it, like it's just completely different. Like even if Fortnite could have even done a separate map the way Call of Duty has, because even in Call of Duty they allow you to even just play normal. If you don't want to play anything to do with the haunting, you don't have to. They're not making you. You can play the normal maps in rotation the same way as any other time. You know, whereas Fortnite just didn't do that. They just didn't. Nothing really new. Nothing really interesting. You know, I did enjoy the Horde Rush mode, but definitely dropped the ball in comparison to what Call of Duty's came out with. You know. So yeah, I think we're at the stage of the podcast here. We'll get the reviews here. Lol, would you like to give a review, your final thoughts?
Well, would you play it again, firstly?
Oh, yes. Break.
What I
feel
did.
like, yeah, I was going to say, I feel
Terrible
like we've
host.
already all answered this because
Yeah.
we did all go and play it again
Yeah.
2 days later.
Mm.
But would you go back to it now? You've played it twice, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. I did quite like it. It was just something different, isn't it, from the usual gameplay? Because I was getting very bored of Warzone. And I do just go back and forth to it every now and again, but I'm not consistent with it anymore like I used to be. But I think I do anticipate that. Well, it depends how long it's out for, how long it's around for. But
I think it's 14 days, and over 14 days, it's basically just 48 with a whole.
yeah, so I may get
October
some more
and
games
November.
in before it finishes. But will I miss it? Probably not either. I'm very indifferent with it.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's a fair sort of review. It was good for a few games, and it's nice to have those updates to keep sort of interest peaked. But yeah, I wouldn't rush back now. But if someone said to me today or in the next few days, "Oh, do you want to jump on for some games?" I'd be much more likely to say yes than I have been in the last sort of 6 months or year, to be honest.
Yeah. I would see. I thought it was great. I think the quests and all, obviously, you collect souls as you kill people and stuff. A lot of replay value if you're wanting to go for the weapon loadouts, the skins that are available
The
there.
freebies.
But yes, the freebies. But my problem is that, as we've said, Warzone Free will come out at some point when Modern Warfare Free takes over. I believe you said December. No, not anytime soon. I don't think it's anytime soon. But the thing is, it's like it'll probably be any of those skins you get, any of those weapons you get, probably won't carry over to the next game anyway. So, is there really a big push, like to do that replayability to get it? Probably not. But
yeah, that's
also,
true. I don't know if they've announced whether anything's going to carry over or not, because I know that was
didn't last time.
the biggest bit of backlash from last time was people like myself had spent a lot of money on getting skins for characters, gun skins, etc.,
Yep.
and then they just wiped it and were like,
Yep.
not compensating you for anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if they're going to carry that over or not. I can't imagine they can, because especially with gun skins.
Especially if it's two different companies, if it's
Yeah.
going to be one taking
I
over
was going
from
to say,
another.
especially with gun skins, they're not going to be using the same guns.
No.
So yeah, that's an interesting point actually. If it's carrying over in 6-7 weeks, then is there any point getting these skins just for that amount of time?
See,
No.
that's my point, is because like the last time, I'm sure with yourselves and all, you all had a selection of skins on the first one, and then they were all just gone. And it's I wouldn't have such an issue if there was a free version, or you'd got them just like this, where you got a free quest. That's fine. But when you put a monetary value attached to each skin, then that's where I have an issue. It's like, so what, I just paid for rental? You know what I mean? Like, then it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been. £8-9. It's a bit of pixel art, really, at the end of the day, Dan.
Yeah, yeah. I personally didn't buy anything for the second Warzone because I was just like, what's the point?
I'd probably just keep playing once a week the same way I've been doing throughout.
Yeah,
So,
fair enough.
Would
Okay.
you like to give your reviews now?
I was going to say ratings. Yeah, Lols, you can go first.
For this event, I'm gonna go with a 7. I think it's definitely better than the last ones. I think for me, I did enjoy it. but maybe Piers is just going to say this is down to my skill. But some of the bosses were a little bit like the Pharaoh. Well, I don't really know how we were ever going to kill him. But
Open a dream.
But yeah, no, I liked it. There was things that could be improved and done better, but a 7's a fair rating, I think.
Yeah, I'd probably give it an 8 actually. I feel like a lot of time and effort went into it, and I don't think there were really any downsides to the update itself. There's still downsides for me for the actual game, but we're basing it on the update. So yeah, I'd say 8 probably. Yeah, I reckon that's probably going to be one of the highest scores I ever give. By the way,
I never thought I'd hear you say any kind of
Simon Cowell of this group, Pierce, has just given an 8.
Especially for Call of Duty.
Innovation, Activision.
It's a really good update, to be fair. So yeah, 8 for me.
Yeah, I'd probably join you on the 8. So I would. Would it have been higher? Probably not. Just with the fact the replayability, the skins. We don't know if skins are going to carry over. So put the effort in, get the skins, brilliant. But then, is it going to carry over? Probably not. The weapons aren't going to carry over. The difficulty just of. It's a night map, but they have supplied the guns. So yeah, I think it's a very fair score for this update. You should all just get on and give it a go, 100%.
Perfect. So, yeah. Okay, so what else have you been playing this week? Bells, I'm going to start with you.
So I recently have got back into Hearthstone. I used to play it ages ago. Now, I mean years ago. Recently got back onto it, and I'll have to say, a completely different game from the last time I played it. I'm also very much enjoying the fact that apparently because it's been so long that I've played, I got a lot of free shit from Blizzard to be like, oh, welcome back, come on in, take all this stuff that you would have paid a fortune. I think I worked it out that it was about 80 quid's worth of free stuff they give you because I haven't played in so long. Nice. So what I'm going to do is not play for another 6 years after this week, and then I'm going to get another 80 quid. Value returned is what I'm looking here.
So is that the card game I saw you playing?
Yes. So that is Blizzard's card game. You build decks, you play against. Basically, think Magic the Gathering, but with Warcraft themes. And I've also been playing Farming Simulator because I'm addicted and help it. Yeah.
All right. Nerd. Lars, what else have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of GeoGuessr. I'm a little bit addicted to some GeoGuessr right now. Like, it's just so easy just to sit there and while you listen, it's just one of those games where you can listen to some music in the background. You don't have to concentrate too much. Well, I say too much. I definitely concentrate too much, but it's just so addictive. Like, I see myself playing this for ages, but yeah. How about you, Piers?
I've very much been backseating on your GeoGuessr. I like to shout Greece when it's clearly not Greece and see the panic in your mouse movements. Yeah, I've very much still been playing EAFC. Another game that I hated actually last year and I was really enjoying this time around. So yeah, I've been playing that and sort of backseating on your GeoGuessr, and we've been doing a lot of flag quizzes because we're king losers. And I'm
nude for Farming Sim, and you're playing a flag game.
Not as much for Farming Sim. Loser. Mainly for your little magical card game. So,
my magical card game will give me 80 quid.
So yeah, there's a nice eclectic mix of games that we've been playing. Lols, what games are coming out next week?
Well, I am fully prepared this time.
So am I, because we've been let down by you so much that I've actually pulled the list up myself. But if you've got it, I'll allow you to make some sort of redemption.
So for those of you that are kind of more into like Switch games and things like that, Just Dance is coming out. I really used to like Just Dance. I will never play it as a multiplayer game or a stream game or anything like that. But yeah, so that's coming out soon, and the highly anticipated for you guys, I think, or maybe just more bells. City Skylines is out on Tuesday.
Definitely
I'm not into it, but I know Val's will be looking forward to it.
Day one release on Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
It's a little bit further ahead, but I feel it's appropriate. The new Call of Duty.
That's like 3 weeks away.
It's not. It's 2 weeks. 3 weeks.
Oh, really? It's only 2 weeks away? I thought it was literally in
weeks.
end November, December.
But it is coming out soon, and it's very appropriate, seeing as we've just been playing it.
Fair enough. There's a few other games coming out. I know Mineko's Night Market's coming out, which is a bit of a cozy game. What else? Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. I can't remember which one. Is this the one where you're the dwarves and you have to try and reclaim? Okay. It looks interesting. I know that's been wishlisted a lot on Epic. Every time I go on Epic, it's like top wishlisted games, and that was sat at the top. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes. On the sort of Halloween-y theme, there is Resident Evil Village dropping on iOS and a winter expansion coming out for it as well. Interested to see what happens.
When you say iOS, does that mean mobile?
I'm guessing mobile or Mac, maybe.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
Interesting. Also, Ghostbusters VR game.
Sounds fun if I had VR.
I was going to say, I might have a little look
VR,
on
I'd love to play it.
A little look on Twitch and see what's going on there. Also, we missed this section last week. So games that came out last week were Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which are sort of the big box office games that came out, I think.
Have you seen any? Because we've got a couple of friends that are quite into like Mario and all those kind of things. Like, have you seen any gameplay of it? No.
I've only seen the official gameplay that Nintendo put out, but it does look pretty good, to be fair. I'm probably not going to buy it just because I'd never play the Switch anymore. But it does look good. I'm sure Bram will play it at some point. We can ask him.
He's playing like that Link game where he's got the boat and stuff last week, so he was there. I was interested in watching that.
The sequel to Breath of the Wild, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Okay. Oh.
So that's the games that are coming out next week. We don't know what we're playing yet, do we? Lols, you're not here. You're abandoning us to go on holiday, which is disgusting, really. You just sort of priorities out. But yeah,
where's the loyalty?
I know. We're still going to play something Halloween-y. We need to decide, actually. We should probably do that in a minute, Bells. But yeah, so I guess...
I'll be there in spirit.
To be confirmed what we do.
So it really just leaves time for Lol's outro. And this week...
song.
Well,
song.
Last week was a song. She said she's actually got a song and it's perfectly written as a haiku. She said, I've been really strict and I haven't cut any corners. It's a perfect haiku and in song to the theme of Mbop and Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up.
We say Mbop so weird. I don't think anyone goes Mbop.
Mbop.
Really?
Mbop. Mbop. So Lols, take it away with your pretty unbelievable outro.
I was sneakily trying to Google that. What are the particulars of a haiku? And no.
You do them. You've already prepared your haiku.
Yeah, you've already prepared it. Don't be silly.
Don't
get nervous now, Lols. Come on. You've been practicing this.
Can somebody do a beat in the background?
No.
Then there's no intro. There's no outro then. No. Okay. Right. So we have been the Pettifoggers with Bells of Steel, Cheers for Peers, and Lollington X. We will be back again next week. Or these pair will be back again next week. Sorry, they're above me and they're to the left on here, so that doesn't make sense. They will let you know what they're going to play. Something spooky, and then we'll be back into normal gameplay soon. Non-spooky editions coming soon.
Christmas.
November's a bit early for Christmas.
Yeah.
Is there a Nightmare Before Christmas game?
No. I'm strictly December is Christmas.
Yeah, December.
Anything before then is normal games. No.
November 25th, I feel like we can sort of cut it.
Okay.
You can start edging. You can start edging it.
We'll go back to normal games for a month, and then we're into Christmas. So, any game recommendations? Give us a shout.
Yeah, definitely pop them in the comments. That'd be really useful.
Drop them in the comments. Love to hear.
Right. Well, see you later then, guys.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Bye.
Very underwhelming.